What's up, guys? This is TheKephas. Welcome to Classic Course, Leveling Edition, where we take a brief look at a specific class from WoW Classic and go over the key abilities that you will want to make use of as you're leveling up. So if you're not too familiar with how to play a particular class, hopefully this video will help make leveling a little easier for you. Today we're going to be talking about how to level up a Paladin. Of all the classes in WoW Classic, the Paladin is by far the most boring. This is because Paladins rely almost exclusively on melee swings, so while you might have some abilities to use, for the most part, you're just going to be sitting there waiting for your melee attacks to kill things. The result is an excruciatingly slow leveling process. But on the flip side, because of their ability to self-heal along with other survivability tools, Paladins are actually pretty easy to level up. So if you don't mind a slow but steady leveling process and you want to become the next warrior of the Holy Light, I'm here to help get you started with the basics of leveling a Paladin in WoW Classic. Starting off at level 1, you will be relying exclusively on melee attacks to deal damage. But what you'll want to focus on is maintaining Seal of Righteousness while in combat. This will give your melee swings extra holy damage. You can also activate Devotion Aura. This will give you and anybody in your party extra armor. And don't forget about Holy Light. It's a healing spell that you can use whenever you're low on health. But remember, your healing spells will consume a lot of your mana. At level 4, you can learn Judgment, your first damaging ability. Using Judgment will consume your Seal of Righteousness to deal damage to your target, so make sure that you reapply your Seal of Righteousness after using Judgment. You can also learn Blessing of Might, which is a 5-minute buff that will increase your attack power. Make sure that you keep this up on yourself at all times. At level 8, you can learn Hammer of Justice. This is a useful crowd control ability that temporarily stuns your target. You may as well use this as much as possible because whenever a target is stunned, it's not going to be doing any damage to you. At level 10, you'll unlock your talent tree, and you are free to build out your tree as you see fit. But this guide assumes that you'll primarily be following the Retribution tree. At level 12, you can complete a class quest which unlocks Redemption. This ability allows you to resurrect a fallen ally. At level 14, you can learn Blessing of Wisdom, which works just like Blessing of Might, except instead of increasing your attack power, it increases your mana regeneration. Now, you can only have one blessing active on yourself at a time, and while it might seem like Blessing of Might is the better choice, don't write off Blessing of Wisdom. You've probably noticed by now that using all of your abilities takes a lot of mana, and depending on your gear and how much spirit you have, you might find yourself getting mana starved pretty often. If that's the case, then consider switching to Blessing of Wisdom. This will help keep your mana from running on empty all the time, thus decreasing your downtime. It's up to you to go with whichever blessing you want to use, but it's important to know that both blessings can be extremely useful in different situations. And we can echo this same sentiment with auras, because at level 16, you unlock Retribution Aura. This will deal holy damage to enemies that attack any player with Retribution Aura active. Like blessings, you can only have one aura active at a time. Devotion Aura can be useful if you feel like you're taking extra physical damage from enemies. If not, feel free to go with Retribution Aura. At level 20, you'll be faced with a third dilemma, this time with your seals. If you've spec'd into the Retribution tree this whole time, at level 20, you should be able to unlock Seal of Command. And like everything else with Paladins, you can only have one seal active at a time. Your choice will be between Seal of Righteousness and Seal of Command, but this choice is a lot easier, because it's based entirely on how fast your weapon is. Because Seal of Righteousness provides a flat damage increase with each weapon swing, it's best used with faster weapons. However, if you're using a slower weapon, which in general does more damage with each swing, then it's best to use Seal of Command. This is because Seal of Command does damage based on a percentage of your weapon's damage output. The general consensus is that if your weapon is faster than 3.5 seconds, use Seal of Righteousness. If it's slower than 3.5 seconds, use Seal of Command. Now, if you're using Seal of Command, you can still use Judgment to consume it to deal damage. But in the case of Seal of Command, if your target is stunned, it will deal even more damage. So if you want to get some extra damage in there, you can use Hammer of Justice just before using Judgment to unleash Seal of Command to deal even more damage. Of course, you can only do this once every minute though, because that's how long the cooldown is for Hammer of Justice. At level 20, you can also do a class quest to unlock Sense Undead and obtain a very powerful weapon. You can also learn Exorcism at level 20. This is a decently powerful damaging ability that you can use on cooldown, but you can only use it on undead and demon targets. As you level, consider visiting zones like Duskwood or the Plaguelands, where enemies are susceptible to Exorcism. At level 22, you can learn Seal of Justice. Now, this seal doesn't increase your damage, but it does give you the chance to stun your enemies for a short time, and unleashing the seal through Judgment will stun the target for 10 seconds. If you happen to be in an area where enemies tend to flee, consider using Seal of Justice. This will prevent them from getting away and potentially grabbing the attention of some of their buddies. Obviously, you won't want to be using Seal of Justice all the time, but in certain situations, it can save your life. At level 30, if you've been speccing into your ret tree, you should be able to unlock Sanctity Aura. This will be the aura that you will want to use at all times from now on, unless you happen to be in a party that needs something else. Sanctity Aura provides a 10% increase to holy damage, and it is very good for your personal damage output. At level 40, you can learn to use Plate Armor, and you can also do a class quest to unlock your first mount. At level 44, you can learn to use Hammer of Wrath. This is a damaging ability that you'll want to use on cooldown, but you can only use it on enemies that are below 20% health. Now, by level 40, you should have specced all the way through your Retribution tree. At this point, you should consider speccing into the Holy Tree. Doing so should allow you to unlock Consecration as early as level 51. This is your one and only AoE ability, so use it whenever you're fighting multiple targets, as long as you have the mana for it. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about leveling a Paladin. Hopefully this video has helped get you started, and will make your leveling experience a bit easier. But if you're looking for something a little more in depth, like stat weights or talent builds, you might want to check out a very useful post on the WoW Classic subreddit, which provides a comprehensive list of guides for all things Classic WoW. A link has been provided in this video's description. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button, and feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you'd like, you can support this channel on Patreon. Links to all of this can be found in the description below. This is TheKephas. Until next time.